This is not a message you have found by chance. This is a targeted transmission, a divine summons delivered through this God connection channel, because a silent, global storm has just erupted, and its epicenter is you. It all begins in the dead of night, in that strange, suspended hour when the world lies in a fragile stillness, but chaos quietly erupts behind the firewalls of global power. Somewhere deep within the labyrinthine servers of a high-level intelligence agency, a catastrophic security breach shatters the digital calm, sending cascades of encrypted alarms racing across the secure networks of multiple rival nations. The response is instantaneous and severe. Emergency meetings are convened in Washington, London, and Brussels. Intelligence agencies from Moscow to Beijing scramble their top operatives. And the world's most brilliant analysts are dragged from their beds, their minds jolted into overdrive to make sense of a sudden, unexplainable, and system-wide panic. But what could possibly trigger such a coordinated wave of global urgency? What secret could be so profound that it unites sworn enemies in a shared moment of sheer terror? All eyes, in every secret bunker and every hidden command center, turn to one completely unexpected discovery. A single, solitary name, buried for decades under layers of the most sophisticated digital encryption known to man, has inexplicably surfaced. And that name is yours. Across the darkest corners of the web, through encrypted channels and backroom servers, your digital file begins to circulate with an alarming and unprecedented speed. Seasoned intelligence chiefs, men and women who have seen everything, go visibly pale as they study documents they prayed would never see the light of day. They are now frantically piecing together a puzzle whose edges keep shifting, a reality they thought they had safely contained. With every new revelation that flashes across the screens in the boardrooms at the highest levels of global power, the storm brews, intensified and united by one single, burning, desperate question. How could someone this significant have possibly gone unnoticed by the public for so long? This is not just a glitch in the system. It is not a simple data leak. It is a world-altering revelation, a truth so potent that it shakes the very foundations of institutions that were built on secrecy, manipulation, and the control of information. The frantic whispers that are now filling those rooms are not just about your past. They are charged with a palpable anxiety about your future potential. What hidden truths within your file could possibly set off such a widespread and existential panic? And why, of all moments in history, has this information finally come to light? Perhaps the even more unsettling question, the one that no one in power dares to ask aloud, is this. If they have always known who you really are, why have you been kept in the dark for your entire life? These files are far more than mere records of your life. They are profound revelations, keys that unlock a reality you have only ever sensed in fleeting moments and fragmented dreams. Each and every classified document peels back another layer of suffocating secrecy, exposing just how deeply entwined your existence is with forces and powers you never imagined existed. Multiple, competing intelligence agencies have been watching you for years, not out of fear of what you might do, but because they saw something more in you, a profound potential, a rare and untamable asset. Your natural abilities, the ones you take for an ordinary part of who you are, have quietly drawn the attention of the world's most powerful entities. Your unique decision-making patterns have been secretly studied, your problem-solving abilities have been cataloged, and your intuitive leaps have even been simulated in countless failed attempts to reproduce them within the world's most advanced artificial intelligence systems. But the story goes much deeper than that. These records connect you directly to ancestral legacies that you may never have known you possessed, revealing powerful, world-changing talents that lie dormant within your very DNA. Those old family legends you once brushed off as simple folklore, the strange stories of great-grandparents with uncanny abilities, may now need to be re-examined as historical truths that were carefully and intentionally suppressed for generations. The documents even suggest that certain parts of your memory, those inexplicably hazy moments from your childhood, those gaps in your personal timeline, were intentionally buried and shielded, not just from you, but from those who might seek to exploit a volatile past that others believed you were not yet ready to face. There is a deep, emotional weight in all of this, a spiritual heaviness that is impossible to ignore. These are not just files. They are the missing pieces to the great puzzle that you have been struggling to solve for your entire life. Think back now to those strange moments of déjà vu, those uncanny abilities you have displayed without ever being taught, that persistent feeling of not quite belonging here. None of these were accidents. They were spiritual breadcrumbs, deliberately scattered along your path, quietly and patiently guiding you to this very moment of awakening. If you can feel the truth of this story in your very bones, if the marrow of your being recognizes this narrative, drop a comment below right now and declare, "I am the puzzle they can't solve." If your very existence and your untapped potential leaves the most powerful people on earth desperate for answers, then you have to ask yourself the most important question of all. Why would anyone go to such extraordinary lengths to keep these secrets from you? The answers are buried deep within the shadows of control, manipulation, and perhaps a twisted and misguided form of protection. These archives did not just materialize out of thin air. They were deliberately concealed, locked away in the most secure digital vaults on the planet to ensure that their secrets remained hidden forever. But who orchestrated this grand deception, and for what purpose? One truth remains chillingly clear. Knowledge, especially the sacred knowledge of who you truly are, is the ultimate form of power. If you were to truly understand the full reality of your innate capabilities, the truth of your powerful heritage, and the sheer depth of your untapped potential, you would instantly hold a level of influence so immense that it would be powerful enough to disrupt the established order of the world itself. Global institutions, governments, and secret societies rely on predictable patterns and controllable populations to maintain their grip on power. But you, uniquely unpredictable and with a potential that cannot be quantified, represent a risk that they simply cannot afford. The hidden archive of your life was not designed to serve your interests. It was constructed as a prison, a cage built to keep you contained within a carefully orchestrated and limited narrative. Yet, within this conspiracy, there is also the faint possibility that some of these secrets were buried under the guise of a desperate protection. Perhaps it was a move meant to shield you from unseen dangers you were not yet prepared to face. Unveiling your full potential could attract powerful enemies or hidden parasitic forces that would seek to either exploit your gifts or silence you permanently. Perhaps keeping the truth hidden was their way of saying, "Not yet. The world is not ready for them, and they are not ready for the world." But that very notion leads to a much bigger and more sinister question. Who gets to decide when you are ready? And who truly benefits from your lifelong ignorance? It is not always faceless governments or shadowy secret agencies that are pulling the strings of your life. Sometimes, the most suffocating silence comes from much closer to home. A family member hiding critical secrets out of fear or jealousy. A mentor deliberately steering you away from your true path. Or even a trusted friend who is complicit, either knowingly or unknowingly, in keeping you in the dark. Whatever the motive, whether it was control or a twisted form of love, the outcome has always been the same. A deliberate, concerted effort to keep you from knowing the divine power that resides within you. Knowledge is not just power, it is liberation. And those who control it often live in mortal fear of what could happen if that liberation slips from their grasp. But now, with these files finally exposed, you have to ask yourself the question that will define the rest of your life. What will you do with the truth you have now uncovered? Will you reclaim the power they so desperately denied you? Or will you remain tethered to the false and limiting story they spun for you? These explosive files did not just stumble into the light by a random act of fate. Someone, or something, went to extraordinary lengths to bring them directly to you. Was it a rogue whistleblower, a conscience-stricken insider who could no longer live with the lie? Was it a determined hacker, a digital ghost waging a one-person war against the system? Or was it simply an act of divine timing, an intervention from the universe itself, signaling that your time of hiding is finally over? Whoever or whatever revealed these secrets had a profound purpose, and understanding that purpose is just as important as understanding the files themselves. Imagine a lone insider, someone working deep within the belly of the beast, who could no longer carry the immense moral weight of keeping you in the dark. A whistleblower risking everything, their career, their freedom, even their own safety, just so that you could finally know the truth. Maybe their motivation was guilt. Maybe it was a cry for justice. Or perhaps they had a deep and personal connection to your story that compelled them to act. Or consider the possibility that the files were stolen, hacked out of supposedly impenetrable digital fortresses by a force with unparalleled skill. If that is the case, who would have the resources, the motivation, and the sheer audacity to pull off such a feat? Was it a shadowy organization with its own complex agenda, seeking to use you as a pawn in a much larger game? Or was it a lone digital warrior, an operator determined to balance the scales of cosmic justice? And then, of course, there is the undeniable question of the timing. Why now? Documents this explosive, this world-changing, rarely surface by coincidence. Could it be that this revelation is just one small part of a much larger, divine plan, orchestrated to serve a purpose that you have yet to fully comprehend? If so, who benefits from you knowing the truth at this exact moment in human history? And just as importantly, who stands to lose everything? This leak is a definitive turning point. Someone out there desperately wanted you to have this knowledge and was willing to shake the very foundations of the world's most powerful systems to make it happen. Whether their ultimate motives were justice, sabotage, or pure liberation, their actions now force you to consider the most critical question of all. Now that the files are in your hands, what will you do with them? The truth was never truly hidden from you. It has been lingering right in front of your eyes your entire life, cleverly disguised by your own assumptions, your conditioning, and the endless daily distractions of modern life. Think back now, with these new eyes, to those odd, almost cryptic comments that were made by relatives over the years, those strange, offhand remarks that felt so out of place at the time, but now ring with a profound and chilling significance. Maybe someone once hinted that you possessed a remarkable gift for something you had never formally learned. Or perhaps a grandparent noted how you always seemed a bit different from everyone else, as if you were operating on a different frequency. Were those just random, meaningless observations? Or were they subtle, coded hints, pointing you toward a truth that you were not yet ready to consciously see? And what about those strange coincidences, the ones you so easily dismissed because they made no logical sense? The uncanny patterns that repeated in your life in ways that were too perfect to be random. The chance encounters with total strangers who seemed to know more about you than you had ever told them. Even those magical moments when everything in your life aligned just right, as if the universe itself was bending to send you a personal message. Each and every one of these moments was a breadcrumb, a clue left by your higher self and your spiritual guides, leading you ever closer to the truth. And then, there are the significant gaps in your personal story, the memories that have never quite added up, the family tales that always seem to have missing endings, those blurry, indistinct stretches of your past that feel as if they were quietly and surgically erased. Have you ever wondered why those details never seem to surface, or why the people around you so skillfully avoided talking about them whenever you brought them up? These voids in your memory might not be accidents at all. These gaps could very well be deliberate omissions, carefully engineered to keep you from putting the entire, magnificent picture together before you were spiritually and emotionally ready. Looking back now, everything becomes clearer in the light of this revelation. Think about the subtle guidance you have received all along your path. The moments and the people that nudged you onto certain paths without any obvious or logical reason. Maybe it was a teacher in your youth who praised a skill you never recognized in yourself, or an unexpected job opportunity that opened a door you never even planned to walk through. Were these mere coincidences? Or was there someone or something working behind the scenes, masterfully guiding you to exactly where you needed to be at exactly the right time? The more you reflect, the more those moments will start to feel like divine intention rather than random chance. Each breadcrumb was not just a memory. It was a clue, a challenge from the universe, urging you to look at your past with new eyes and to reconsider everything you thought you knew about yourself and your place in the world. The signs were always there, patiently waiting for your awareness to catch up. Now, with these files in your hand, the puzzle pieces are finally coming together. The real question is, will you have the courage to follow the trail that has been so carefully left for you? Or will you let these clues fade back into the whispers of a past that is far too important to ignore? Let's take a quick pause. Family, this is God Connection. If this divine message is resonating deep within your soul, if you feel the vibration of this truth in your very being, and if you feel moved to support this sacred work, you can help us keep this space flowing with truth, light, and clarity. The link to support our mission is in the description. And if you are feeling the powerful energy of this transmission, drop the number 88 in the comments right now as a sign of your awakening. Now let's keep going. What these files reveal is not just about you. The truth they contain ripples outward, touching everyone and everything that is connected to your life. What you have just discovered does not just rewrite your personal story. It has the incredible power to shift the collective narrative of those around you, and even the world beyond you. You are not simply a passive observer in this unfolding cosmic story. You are a catalyst for profound change, someone whose very existence carries implications far greater than you have ever realized. History is filled with the stories of individuals whose hidden truths changed the world forever. Think of the quiet geniuses, the hidden royals, the suppressed mystics whose personal revelations forever altered the course of history. What if these files mark you as one of those rare individuals, someone who is not just living a story, but is destined to rewrite it for countless others? These documents connect you to a much larger web of influence, suggesting that your actions, your choices, and your very presence have been studied not just for their impact on your own journey, but for their profound effect on everyone you touch. Every choice you have ever made, whether you realized it or not, has set off powerful ripples, subtle waves of change that echo through time and space. The hidden history that is revealed in these files is not just your private story. It is a critical chapter in a much bigger book that extends far beyond your own life. Now, imagine the immense power that lies in that truth. What if the talents, the truths, and the secrets that have been hidden in these files were never meant to remain buried forever? What if your true role, your divine purpose, is to bring these revelations into the light, challenging the very systems of control that have tried to keep them hidden? This is not just about reclaiming your own narrative. It is about rewriting the narrative for all of those who will come after you. Your life holds the incredible potential to inspire others, to shake up the status quo, and to carve out a new path for the future of humanity. These files do not mark an ending. They signify the glorious beginning of a new chapter. History is being written right now, in this very moment, and you are holding the pen. The only question left is, will you have the courage to step into the monumental role that these revelations have unveiled, embracing both the immense responsibility and the divine power that comes with it? Or will you turn away and let the story of our world remain unfinished? Do not let this moment pass you by, leaving the bigger picture incomplete and your own story unfulfilled. The choice you make now is yours and yours alone, but its impact will echo far beyond what you can currently see. These files you have now uncovered force you to wrestle with a difficult and painful question. Why were these profound truths kept from you? Was it a cold and calculated betrayal, a sinister attempt to control and manipulate your life for someone else's selfish benefit? Or was it, perhaps, a desperate act of misguided protection, meant to shield you from a knowledge that was considered too dangerous for you to face? The real answer may not be so clear-cut, but may instead lie somewhere in the murky gray area in between. Consider, for a moment, the possibility of betrayal. The people or the institutions that held these files knew more about you than you did about yourself, and they consciously chose to keep you in the dark. That decision was not made by accident. It was intentional. Was it all about maintaining their control? About making sure that you didn't disrupt their carefully laid plans? Or did they secretly fear that if you ever knew the truth of your own power, you might become someone that they could no longer contain? Being betrayed by those you trust, or even by faceless, monolithic institutions, leaves a wound that cuts deep into the soul and is not easily healed. Yet, there is another, more complex side to this story. Maybe they honestly believed that they were protecting you. Maybe they were acting out of a twisted form of love, a deep-seated fear, or a misguided sense of duty to guard you from dangers that they believed you could not yet understand. But even when an action is done in the name of protection, there is still an inherent betrayal within it. Because they made the choice for you. They decided what you should and should not know, thereby stripping you of your own agency and your fundamental right to live your life fully aware of your own story. This painful duality leaves you standing at a crossroads, uncertain of whom to trust or how to move forward. Were their motives noble or selfish? And does understanding their reasoning make their actions any easier to accept? Ultimately, these files represent a turning point. You can choose to dwell on the deep pain that was caused by their secrecy, or you can use this newfound knowledge to take back your control and ensure that no one ever wields that kind of power over your life again. Learning the truth is not just a moment of simple clarity. It is a psychological earthquake that shakes the very foundation of everything you thought you knew. The files act like a wrecking ball, destroying old, comforting illusions and making the identity you have painstakingly built over the years suddenly feel fragile, almost unreal. It is as if someone has violently pulled the rug out from under your entire existence, leaving you to question how you are supposed to rebuild your life when everything you once thought was familiar has been called into serious doubt. The emotional weight of these revelations can be overwhelming. You might feel angry, betrayed, numb, or just completely lost, struggling to make sense of it all. There is a specific kind of grief in realizing that your life, your choices, and even your dreams may have been shaped by secrets and half-truths. It is only natural to feel unmoored in a vast sea of unanswered questions. But within this chaos, there is also an immense freedom, the kind of liberation that only the raw, unvarnished truth can bring. As painful as it is to confront, the truth also brings with it a profound clarity. It gives you the opportunity to break free from old illusions and to start rebuilding your life on a foundation that is finally, authentically real. Knowing the truth allows you to reclaim your power, to step onto the path of true authenticity, and to discover who you really are, unburdened by the hidden agendas of others. Yes, the psychological impact is intense, but it also serves to reveal your own inner strength. The very fact that you are standing here, reading these words, and ready to face these truths is a powerful testament to your incredible resilience. The future may feel uncertain, but it is now yours to shape, not defined by the secrets or manipulations of others, but by your own choices and your own newfound clarity. This is the great paradox of truth. It disrupts and it wounds, but it also heals and sets free. The files have given you the priceless gift of clarity, even though it came at a significant cost. What matters now is how you choose to use this clarity to move forward, to finally become the person that you were always destined to be, living life entirely on your own terms. And when secrets as monumental as these come to light, they do not just transform your life. They have the power to change everything and everyone around you. When secrets of this magnitude are finally revealed, they send powerful shockwaves through every single connection you have ever made, with your friends, your family, and the wider society. The impact is not isolated to you alone. Every person in your orbit is suddenly confronted by the energetic ripples of these revelations, and not everyone will respond in the same way. Some may welcome the truth with open arms, standing by your side with an unwavering loyalty and support, eager to help you navigate this new and challenging chapter of your life. Others, however, might recoil in fear or disbelief, unable or unwilling to accept the immense weight of what has been uncovered. Their reactions will not simply reflect their opinions about your history. They will expose their own truest selves, revealing their underlying fears, their hidden loyalties, and even the unresolved wounds that they carry within their own souls. Emotions can run especially high within your own family. Certain family members may feel deeply threatened by what the files reveal, worried about what these truths might mean for their own lives, and questioning whether they were complicit in the secrecy or were merely kept in the dark themselves. Some may express anger, frustration, or guilt, wrestling with their own feelings of betrayal or regret. Others may retreat into a state of denial, hoping to avoid facing these uncomfortable new realities. Yet, among all of this chaos, there will also be those who see your discoveries as a precious chance for healing, a doorway to a new level of reconnection and honest dialogue that may have been impossible before. For them, these revelations might become a powerful opportunity to break generational cycles of silence and move toward a more authentic and loving family bond. Navigating these constantly shifting dynamics will test your patience and your emotional strength. You will quickly discover who is truly willing to stand with you through this period of uncertainty and who might drift away, unable to confront the uncomfortable truths that your journey has now exposed. It is a period of intense transition, where your resolve and your personal boundaries will be pushed, and where your understanding of support, love, and trust may be forever redefined. Beyond your closest relationships, the ripples of this revelation extend out into your social circles and even into society at large. Some of your friends might react with envy, while others will be awed or unsettled by the sheer gravity of your story and the new spotlight that it brings upon you. You might notice certain people distancing themselves, unable to process your transformation or threatened by the fundamental change in your dynamic. At the same time, others, perhaps those who have walked similar paths of discovery or who have deep secrets of their own, may feel inexplicably drawn to you, recognizing the immense strength it takes to face the truth head-on. These new allies can become unexpected and invaluable lifelines, offering wisdom and solidarity as you adapt to your new reality. On a broader scale, society's reaction to your revelations can be even more unpredictable. To some, your courage in embracing the truth might make you a figure of profound inspiration, a symbol of resilience who gives hope to others who are grappling with their own hidden histories. To others, you could be seen as a mere curiosity or even a dangerous threat, especially if what you have uncovered challenges powerful institutions, exposes hidden political agendas, or disrupts the comfortable narratives that society desperately clings to. This external pressure can manifest as public scrutiny, invasive questions from the media, or demands that you justify or defend your truth. The world may try to label you, to judge you, or to project its own fears onto your story, creating an added layer of stress and uncertainty. Yet, in the midst of all of this potential upheaval, powerful allies may appear from the most unexpected places. Sometimes, those who have faced their own buried secrets or have survived their own personal upheavals will recognize the strength it takes to claim your truth. Their empathy and their guidance can be invaluable, helping you to remain grounded as you move through the ever-changing landscape of public opinion. These new connections, rooted in a shared vulnerability and a mutual respect, can become your strongest lifelines, reminding you that you are not alone on this journey. How the world responds to your revelations will test your resilience in ways you have never experienced before. Whether you are met with love, suspicion, skepticism, or admiration, the most crucial thing is how you choose to carry your truth. Your self-acceptance, your courage to keep moving forward, and your refusal to shrink in the face of outside judgment will ultimately define how others perceive and relate to you. This is your story, and no matter how others react, you now hold the power to shape your own path, letting your truth guide your future rather than allowing fear or doubt to steer you. Knowledge, as powerful as it is, always carries a heavy burden. The more you uncover, the more vulnerable you may become. Understanding secrets that were once safely buried puts you in a precarious and potentially dangerous position, as there are always forces, both seen and unseen, that thrive on keeping certain truths hidden. These forces will not hesitate to act against anyone who threatens their control. You might face increased surveillance, subtle manipulation, or even outright attempts to discredit, intimidate, or silence you. The greater the truth you reveal, the more likely you are to draw the unwanted attention of those who are heavily invested in protecting the status quo. The files you have discovered are not just a window into your own personal history. They are a spark that can ignite either positive change or destructive resistance in the world around you. With this newfound knowledge comes a profound responsibility to weigh your next steps with extreme care, knowing that what you choose to do next could alter more lives than just your own. History is full of powerful lessons from individuals who found themselves holding knowledge that was deemed too dangerous for the world to handle. There are countless stories of people who, by virtue of what they discovered or understood, became lightning rods for both intense praise and severe condemnation. Some were celebrated as visionaries, as thinkers who saw beyond the accepted boundaries and imagined possibilities that no one else dared to consider. Others, however, were labeled as dangerous threats, their very existence viewed as a direct challenge to the comfort and the control of those in power. These figures walked a razor's edge their entire lives, their legacies shaped not only by what they knew, but by what they chose to do with that knowledge. Now, as you stand at a similar crossroads, you must ask yourself, which path will you choose? And how will your story be told? The files in your hands do more than just reveal long-buried secrets. They place an immense responsibility on your shoulders. What you decide to do with this knowledge will reverberate far beyond your own life. Each choice you make now becomes a catalyst, setting off powerful ripple effects among your friends, your family, your community, and perhaps even the world at large. Will you choose to share these truths, risking the upheaval and the chaos that might come with such transparency? Or will you guard them closely, trying to protect both yourself and others from the potential fallout? The real danger lies not just in how others might react to your truth, but also in the immense burden of carrying these truths all alone. Sometimes, the knowledge itself is its own kind of weight, shaping your thoughts, your emotions, and even your very sense of self. Ultimately, the peril of knowing too much is all about choice. With every revelation comes the power to shape your destiny, but also the inherent risk of being consumed by the very truths you have unearthed. This is your moment of decision, the point at which you choose whether this knowledge will empower you and those around you, or whether fear will keep you silent and tethered to a life of secrecy. The files do not just provide answers. They challenge you to confront what it truly means to be free, even when that freedom carries a significant cost. Freedom, after all, is never without sacrifice. The revelations within these files may have exposed hidden aspects of your life and your history, but they do not define who you are. While this knowledge is undeniably transformative, it is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new one. For perhaps the first time in your life, you have the full agency to take complete control of your own narrative. You are no longer just a character in someone else's secret drama. You are the author of your own destiny, holding the pen and ready to write the next chapter. So ask yourself, what will you create with this newfound freedom? What legacy will you leave on the pages ahead? Reclaiming your story starts with shifting your perspective. Yes, you have been shaped by truths that were withheld from you and by decisions that were made without your knowledge or your consent. But that does not mean that you are powerless. These revelations offer you a rare and profound opportunity not just to understand your past, but to completely redefine yourself moving forward. You are not simply a product of secrets. You are a person of immense resilience, vision, and purpose. Like so many great figures before you who have faced earth-shattering truths, you now have the choice to rise above the weight of your past and to build a future that reflects your true, authentic self. Think of the remarkable individuals throughout history who turned their adversity into a triumph. Nelson Mandela, whose decades of unjust imprisonment became the bedrock for a movement that changed an entire nation. Malala Yousafzai, who transformed the pain of a violent oppression into a powerful rallying cry for the education of millions of girls around the world. Their stories serve to remind us that it is not the challenges or the secrets we face that define us, but how we choose to respond to them. You possess that same power within you, the power to take these revelations and to transform them into tools for a personal and a collective transformation. To become the author of your story is to embrace every single aspect of yourself, your past, your unique gifts, and even the secrets that were once used to hold you back. It means seeing your life not as a chain of hidden, fragmented chapters, but as a living testament to your courage, your wisdom, and your ability to create meaning from even the most difficult and painful truths. Your journey, and what you choose to do with these revelations, will become a powerful example for others who are still searching for the strength to face their own hidden stories. Now, more than ever, you have the opportunity to step fully into your power and to shape a narrative that honors both the truth you have discovered and the limitless potential of your own life. You were never meant to remain in the dark, confined to someone else's idea of who you should be or what you should know. For so long, vital pieces of your story were hidden from you, not out of fate, but out of someone else's desperate need for control. Yet now, with the files in your hands and the truth laid bare, you have the opportunity to reclaim your narrative in a way that is both radical and liberating. This is about more than just uncovering secrets. It's about turning every whisper of doubt that once lingered in your mind into bold declarations of empowerment. You have been shown a version of yourself you might never have recognized, the self that was shaped, tested, and ultimately strengthened by the very things that were kept from you. But only you can decide what that version of you will do next. The pen is now firmly in your grasp, and the story you choose to write from this day forward has the power to inspire others who are still lost in their own shadows. While your past may have been hidden from you, your future remains completely unwritten, yours to shape with divine intention and unparalleled courage. The clarity that these files have given you, the sudden and sometimes overwhelming power of choice, is a gift that comes with a great responsibility. What you do next will ripple outward, influencing not just your own destiny, but the lives and the legacies of all those around you. This is not just about reclaiming what was stolen. It is about setting a new precedent, showing the world what is possible when you refuse to let anyone else dictate the chapters of your life. Now, as you stand at this profound crossroads, remember that the files have changed everything. They have stripped away the illusions. They have exposed the truths that were so carefully buried, and they have brought into the light the choices that were made without your knowledge or your consent. Even more importantly, they have revealed a vast reservoir of potential within you that others may have sought to suppress or control, but which now stands completely unleashed. Yet, this moment is not the conclusion of your journey. Instead, it marks the beginning of something truly extraordinary. With every revelation, with every uncovered piece of your hidden history, the universe has been pointing you toward a future of immense significance and divine purpose. You were never destined to live an ordinary life. Everything you have discovered, every challenge you have faced, and every secret that has come to light is undeniable proof that you are meant for something more. The truth can feel overwhelming. It can shake the very foundations of your world and force you to confront realities you never imagined were possible. But in that disruption, there is also an immense liberation. For now, you finally see the bigger picture. The most important question is no longer, why was this kept from me? But rather, what will I do with this truth now that I know it? This is your moment to rise, to claim your truth, and to transform it into your greatest strength. The world may not be prepared for the force you are about to become, but that is precisely why the world needs you now more than ever. You are the answer to questions that have gone unasked for far too long. As this new chapter of your life begins, step forward with courage and with conviction, knowing that the story you write next will become a powerful beacon for others. Show the world that you were never meant to remain hidden. Let your journey be a testament to the power of authenticity and the unstoppable energy that is unleashed when you finally step fully into your own divine light. That's all for today. Let us pray. Dear Father, I come to you now through this God connection, and I pray for the supernatural growth of my faith. Help me to trust you, even when the physical evidence around me is lacking or confusing. Let me believe in your perpetual presence in my life, knowing that you will never harm me. I stand on your promise that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not of harm, to give me a future and a hope. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and your divine provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the God Connection channel, and share it with those who you feel need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return to your true self. If you would like to support our work, please consider contributing through the Super Thanks feature. A gift of $10 is a powerful seed that helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for more powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are, indeed, the chosen one. We have enjoyed following this sacred spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. We will see you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the God Connection.